An ADU has significant tax implications, and it's important to understand how these can benefit you as you are running your business, that is your ADU.
Yeah.
So today we're going to talk all about tax
Taxes.
benefits.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things you need to think about your taxes in the long run, but probably the most significant thing is before you ever start your ADU. And that is you're going to invest a significant amount of money to build your ADU.
Yeah.
Now, that's money you're investing to create a piece of property that will generate income.
Mm.
And so when you get ready to file your taxes, that's considered your capital investment into the business.
Yeah.
You're spending that money. Now, that money will be used as a tax benefit that you'll claim, and probably not all at once, but you'll amortize it over 10 to 20 years, and you'll get to use that to help declare that as an expense on the business. So in the first couple of years, you're probably going to actually operate at a tax loss.
Interesting.
And what that's going to mean is you're going to carry that loss over into your personal income, which is going to reduce the taxes that you pay.
So a loss is actually a gain.
It's actually a gain for you.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so what you want to do is you want to have a tax advisor that you talk with prior to getting started on this, so that they will help you understand what can you claim, what expenses and what things you're doing as you're getting ready to build your ADU
Okay.
that will show up as that capital investment expense, and do that planning your taxes. They'll also, how long should we amortize it for? 5 years, 10 years, whatever. They'll help you understand what that's going to be. Now, that's just one portion of your tax planning that's going on there. Once you actually get in the ADU and you start generating monthly income, then you have just monthly expenses. Okay. And those are expenses like paying your utility bill. Maybe you had to pay to have someone come and shovel the sidewalks in the winter to get rid of the snow, or taking care of mowing the lawn, repairing the furnace. You've got, things like that that take care of those expenses. You also want to understand, what are those expenses? What can I write off, and declare, and how do I declare them? Because that becomes a part of your tax planning. Because you're not paying on the full rent that you're receiving. You're paying for the profitability, which is the rent minus all the expenses that you had to pay that month, creates the responsibility. So you don't want to be taxed on the full amount. You want to be taxed on what's left.
Yes.
You see, because that makes a big difference in where you're going. Otherwise, all of that money would go over into your personal account, and then you would owe a lot of taxes at the end of the year because you haven't paid into it.
Oh my gosh.
And then you'd be going, this wasn't worth it.
No, you're paying way more than you should.
So you want to understand how that works in what's going on with it. Again, that's why it's really important for you to talk with a tax planner and assume that. Now, another thing that really, I was just floored when this happened to me, and I was like, you're kidding me. And this is what happened, is I went in to talk to my tax guy, and he said, well, your property now is partly owned by this ADU, and so part of all of your property's expenses become an expense for the business. So part of my property taxes, part of my house insurance, part of the payment for my loan, part of all of that stuff became part of my tax planning to help reduce my income, because they were bona fide expenses that was paying for the ADU.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have known what or how much of that I could claim if I had not talked to the tax planner.
That is so significant.
So I may have spent $600 that year to have my tax planning done, but I literally saved about $10,000 in expenses that I could take off.
Wow.
My utility bill, I pay $200 a month for my electrical bill.
Yeah.
Well, 50% of that is going to my ADU.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh my gosh, why would I not do that?
I feel like that just drives in the fact of how critical it is to connect with experts and how you help people find those experts.
You are building a strategy that requires that you really, to leverage it to the most, that you have people with expertise in areas that you don't have, that can tell you how you can maximize the return for your investment. And I can't tell you, you got to do it.
Yeah.
You just got to do it. Now, we at ADU Utah have found most of these experts, because we work with people that establish an entire plan of how they're going to be successful with their ADU. And part of that is introducing them to, here's the guy that we work with who talks about tax planning. And he's familiar with ADUs and the things that you can take advantage of to do it. Here's someone who can help you with your bookkeeping. Here's someone who can help you with your financial planning. Get those members on your team so that you can maximize this investment.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Yeah. How do people reach out to start getting in contact about this?
Well, just send us an email. And it's really easy to remember. All I got to do is send it to hello@aduutah.com. Just send it through your question, again, to hello@aduutah.com.